Behind the heavy, gilded doors of the palace, a silent, ruthless eviction is underway, and two royal sisters have just dropped the ultimate clue that their time has officially run out. On a day when every single camera in Britain was locked onto the King's official parade, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie were spotted slipping across international borders, caught on camera in the pouring rain at a secluded event in Vienna. They didn't just skip the biggest royal gathering of the year, they vanished from it entirely. This wasn't an oversight, and it wasn't a casual weekend trip. This was a desperate tactical retreat. You'll want to stay tuned until the very last second of this video, because the final piece of this puzzle exposes a dramatic shift in the royal hierarchy that changes everything. If you love uncovering what really happens behind the velvet ropes of the world's most secretive dynasty, do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button and join our inner circle. We have a lot more secrets to share. The image of a unified royal balcony is a carefully crafted illusion, and the sudden, silent disappearance of two princesses just shattered it completely. On June 13th, while the British public focused heavily on the grand spectacle of the King's birthday parade in London, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie were spotted thousands of miles away. Rumors indicate that their sudden departure from the United Kingdom was far from a casual weekend getaway. Instead, footage sent to investigators captured the sisters braving the rain outside St. Charles Church in Vienna, looking less like honored guests and more like individuals avoiding a massive storm back home. They were attending a lavish wedding for the aristocratic Schwarzenberg family, surrounded by German and Czech nobility. Princess Beatrice stood outside in a shimmering gown worth thousands of pounds, chatting with guests while frantically trying to stay out of the downpour. But it wasn't just the rain they were running from. Insiders say the choice to leave the country during the most critical royal event of the summer speaks volumes about their current standing. For daughters of the blood royal, missing the King's parade is practically unprecedented. It is a mandatory display of loyalty, a visual contract with the public that says, "We are here and we belong." Yet, there they were, hiding in plain sight among foreign elite, completely disconnected from the House of Windsor. According to sources, this sudden cross-border trip was a calculated exit strategy designed to shield the sisters from the intense public scrutiny waiting for them in London. The pressure on the sisters has reached an all-time high. Observers noticed that their public appearances have become erratic, careful, and deeply calculated. They are stepping out into the world again, but only on their own terms and far away from the official royal spotlight. But skipping the parade was only the first move in a much larger, coordinated retreat. Reports suggest that this international vanishing act was actually triggered by an even bigger snub that occurred just days later, one that signaled a permanent shift in the royal hierarchy. Missing a birthday parade is one thing, but completely vanishing from the absolute pinnacle of high society visibility is the definitive proof that a systematic purging is underway. For decades, Royal Ascot has served as the ultimate barometer for internal palace dynamics. It is an event where invitation lists double as a declaration of power, and proximity to the monarch means everything. Yet, as the gates opened for Royal Ascot, the two names that onlookers were desperately searching for were completely missing from the official guest list. Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie were nowhere to be found. This isn't just a casual change in their summer schedule. In the unforgiving world of the monarchy, visibility is currency. If you are not seen, you do not exist. For years, the York sisters were staples of this prestigious event, captured by photographers in elaborate style, riding high in the traditional carriage processions. According to sources, palace officials have made a firm, calculated decision regarding their presence, ensuring they would not appear in the royal box or participate in any public procession. This marks the second massive public erasure following their quiet absence from the traditional Easter Sunday service earlier this year. Reports suggest that their continued removal from these major fixtures is part of a deliberate effort to keep a tightening grip on the institution's public image. While neither sister has ever been accused of any wrongdoing, the long shadow of controversy continues to alter their reality. In the past, Princess Beatrice occupied a highly coveted position, riding in the prestigious third carriage of the royal procession alongside international elite. To be placed in that carriage is a symbolic gesture that signals inclusion within the working heart of the family. Leaving that specific seat empty was never an option, because the spectacle must always continue. Rumors indicate that the palace already had a seamless replacement waiting in the wings, signaling a permanent transfer of favor that left the York sisters entirely out in the cold. The palace has officially chosen its new shining star, and her sudden promotion confirms that the York sisters are being permanently erased. When a high-profile vacancy opens within the royal inner circle, the institution never leaves it empty. Instead, they quickly fill it with someone completely untainted by public scandal. At Royal Ascot, as the crowds cheered for the traditional carriage procession, all eyes were locked onto the highly coveted third carriage. This was the exact spot where Princess Beatrice previously sat, representing the crown alongside global dignitaries. This year, however, a completely different royal stepped into that seat, rewriting the family dynamic in real time. Zara Tindall arrived in style, taking over the prominent role with absolute ease. This wasn't just a physical replacement. Insiders say it was a deeply symbolic message, broadcast to the entire world. By placing Zara in the procession alongside international figures like Princess Zara Aga Khan, the monarch made a definitive statement about who belongs in the new era of the monarchy. Zara, the daughter of Princess Anne, holds no official royal title, yet she is now being elevated to the highest ranks of public visibility. But this sudden shift exposes a harsh truth that the family wanted to keep quiet. The monarchy is actively reshaping its hierarchy, rewarding absolute loyalty and drama-free public service. Zara Tindall brings nothing but positive headlines and athletic prestige to the family name. The York brand, on the other hand, has become a heavy liability that the institution can no longer afford to carry. Reports suggest that the decision to push Zara into the spotlight was highly calculated. It effectively fills the public void left by Beatrice and Eugenie without inviting any unwanted questions from the press. And the incredible speed of this transition reveals just how urgent the situation had become. To understand why this changing of the guard had to happen so flawlessly, we have to look back at the exact moment the family foundation cracked. It all leads back to a devastating evening when their father suffered the ultimate loss of status. The dynamic shift replacing the York sisters was never just about a casual preference for new favorites. It was the direct result of a legal hammer that systematically destroyed their royal identity. For generations, the name York carried immense weight, representing a direct line to the heart of the monarchy. But in late 2025, that legacy came to a sudden, catastrophic end. Reports suggest that the monarch, acting on the advice of senior officials, initiated an unprecedented and formal process to permanently strip Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor of his remaining titles, his HRH style, and his standing on the prestigious peerage roll. This wasn't just a routine administrative update. It was a swift, complete removal from the fabric of the institution. With a single declaration, the former prince was reduced to a civilian status. According to sources, this decision sent immediate shockwaves through the family, instantly shifting the ground beneath Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. While the sisters kept their own personal titles, the absolute destruction of their father's official standing meant the structural foundation supporting their public lives had effectively evaporated. But the family wanted to keep the deepest consequences of this transition out of the headlines. When a senior member loses their status, the fallout spreads like wildfire, affecting everything from official security details to their standing at major events. Insiders say that from that exact evening, the sisters were quietly informed that their days of representing the crown on major platforms were officially over. The protective shield provided by their father's position had vanished, leaving them completely exposed to the relentless glare of public scrutiny. Rumors indicate that the family war behind this transition was incredibly intense, with senior royals pushing for a clean break to preserve the future of the institution. Every public tie had to be cut, quickly and permanently. Yet, losing their official standing and family titles was just the first phase of an ongoing unraveling. As 2026 began, a much larger territorial conflict emerged that would push the former prince out of his sanctuary and seal his isolation once and for all. The ultimate proof that a line has been crossed permanently didn't just come from public snubs, it arrived with a fleet of moving trucks dispatched under the cover of darkness. For over 2 decades, the sprawling 30-room Royal Lodge in Windsor served as an impenetrable fortress of luxury and privacy for the former prince. But as February 2026 began, that sanctuary was abruptly dismantled. Reports suggest that a heavily frustrated monarch finally pushed the eviction timeline forward, demanding an immediate surrender of the lease. The sight of removal vans clearing out the property signaled to the world that the time for polite family compromises was officially over. This dramatic territorial removal wasn't a sudden whim, but a direct response to a massive, fresh wave of document releases from overseas. According to sources, millions of pages of unsealed investigation files surfaced, thrusting the family name right back into the center of historic global controversies. The public pressure became entirely too heavy for the institution to ignore. Rumors indicate that local law enforcement even initiated fresh inquiries into historic allegations, making his continued presence on Crown-owned land near Windsor Castle an absolute impossibility. To prevent further reputational damage, a swift relocation plan was put into action. The former prince was quietly transferred far away from the public eye, sent to the isolated Sandringham estate in Norfolk. While his permanent residence, Marsh Farm, undergoes extensive repairs, insiders say he is staying temporarily at Wood Farm, the modest country cottage where Prince Philip spent his retirement years. This drastic downsizing is a massive fall from grace, moving from a grand mansion to a secluded farmhouse. But the shockwaves didn't stop at the gates of Windsor. This geographic isolation has directly altered the lives of Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, who now find themselves disconnected from the primary family hubs. With their father effectively removed from society and facing ongoing scrutiny, the sisters are left trying to navigate the wreckage of a shattered legacy. The complete disappearance of the York sisters from the grandest stages of the British monarchy is no longer a matter of speculation. It is a visible reality. What began as a series of missed events has solidified into a permanent shift in the royal landscape. Reports suggest that the institution is moving forward into a highly controlled, streamlined era, leaving little room for individuals whose family ties invite unwanted headlines. For Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, the glittering lights of Vienna and the quiet corners of Europe may represent their new normal, far removed from the official balcony at Buckingham Palace. The strategy implemented by senior officials appears absolute. By elevating new figures to handle prominent public roles, the palace has successfully managed the transition without a single public announcement. Insiders say the sisters are acutely aware that their path back to the working core of the family is entirely blocked. They must now construct their lives independently, relying on private ventures and aristocratic networks rather than the official backing of the crown. The ultimate question is no longer when they will return, but how completely they will be phased out as the new guard takes full control. This dramatic shift proves that the crown protects its own survival above all else, enforcing boundaries that even princesses cannot cross. The era of the York family occupying a central space in the royal narrative has drawn to a definitive close, replaced by a modern, tightly managed image designed to weather any storm. As the gates of the palace close more firmly than ever, Beatrice and Eugenie are left to navigate a world where their names carry immense history but no longer hold any official power. We want to hear what you think about this dramatic changing of the guard. Is the palace being too harsh by pushing the sisters out of the spotlight? Or is this ruthless transition exactly what the monarchy needs to secure its future? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. We read every single one of them. If you found this breakdown insightful and want to stay updated on the deepest secrets hidden behind palace gates, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.